Every rider remembers their first time. The trembling hands, the engine's growl that feels louder than your heartbeat. That single thought echoing in your head, am I really doing this? What no one tells you is that riding isn't just about control. It's about transformation. Because somewhere between stalling at the stop sign and cruising down the highway, something inside you changes. These are 7 milestones that turn a nervous beginner into a confident rider. Moments that shake you, humble you, and finally make you one of us. Every rider's story starts small. You don't begin on the highway. You begin on a forgotten street no one cares about. The kind of road where time moves slower, where even the streetlights look bored. That's where you wobble, stall, overthink, and then suddenly, something clicks. The clutch feels smoother. The gears make sense. You stop looking at your hands and start feeling the machine. That's when the fear turns into respect. The bike stops being a threat and starts becoming a partner. It's not a viral moment. There are no spectators. But when you finally glide down that empty street without fear, you know it. You've taken your first real step toward freedom. No simulator, no instructor, no YouTube tutorial can prepare you for this. The first time your tires hit the highway, it feels like walking into another world. The wind hits harder. Every sound is magnified. Your body tenses as trucks roar past, shaking the air around you. For a split second, you question everything. What if I'm not ready? But then you do something every rider eventually learns. You trust the bike. You lean into the wind. You merge with the flow. And suddenly, the chaos becomes rhythm. You're not just surviving, you're flying. The fear melts into focus. Your world narrows to one lane, one heartbeat, one throttle twist. When you exit that highway, your hands might shake, but your soul is electric. That's the moment you stop being a beginner. Every rider eventually faces this truth. Your bike will demand something from you. It could be a flat tire, a dead battery, or that mysterious noise you swear wasn't there yesterday. At first, it's terrifying. You stare at the parts, the tools, the grease, and think, I'm not a mechanic. But when you roll up your sleeves and fix that first problem, no matter how small, you cross a new threshold. You're not just a rider, you're a caretaker. You start to understand your machine, its quirks, its moods, its voice. Because here's the secret no one tells you. The bond between a rider and a bike isn't built on the road. It's built in the garage. That first successful repair, even if it's just tightening a chain, gives you something priceless. Confidence born from competence. Every rider dreams of the open road, the kind that stretches far beyond your comfort zone. Your first real trip isn't about distance. It's about endurance, trust, and the quiet moments between miles. You learn how wind fatigue feels after 3 hours. You learn the art of packing too much, forgetting something vital, and laughing about it halfway there. You learn that your body has limits, but your spirit doesn't. At some point, the trip stops being about reaching a destination and becomes a meditation. The hum of the engine turns into white noise. The world becomes a blur of asphalt, sky, and possibility. And when you pull into that final stop, exhausted but alive, you understand why riders chase the horizon. It's not about escape, it's about arrival. Sooner or later, you'll face it. The sky turns gray, the wind howls, and the rain starts like a whisper before turning into a wall. Every instinct tells you to stop, but there's nowhere to hide. So, you ride. Your visor fogs up. The road feels slick, and every move requires precision. You learn throttle control, smooth braking, balance, all in real time, with nature as your merciless teacher. But something strange happens out there. You stop panicking. You adapt. You find rhythm, even in chaos. Riding through bad weather is like passing a trial by fire, except it's water and wind instead. When you finally park and peel off your soaked gloves, you'll feel it. That deep, quiet pride that comes from knowing you didn't quit. It's the day you earn your stripes. There's nothing quite like your first night ride. The world feels emptier, colder, quieter, and somehow more alive. Streetlights blur into streaks. The engine hum becomes a lullaby. You realize just how alone and how connected you are. Your senses sharpen. Every sound, every flicker of motion matters. You learn to trust your instincts in ways daylight never demanded. For many riders, that first night ride is when the romance begins. You stop feeling like a visitor on your bike. You start feeling like you belong there, on the road, in the dark, chasing a line of light that's entirely your own. Night riding isn't for everyone, but those who experience it know this truth. That silence, that solitude, that hum, it's where freedom lives. The final milestone isn't about your own journey. It's about someone else's. There comes a day when a friend asks, "Can you teach me?" And suddenly, you see yourself in them. The shaky hands, the nervous laughter, the same wide-eyed wonder you once had. You hold the clutch, explain the gears, and watch as they take those first uncertain steps. That's when it hits you. You've come full circle. You're no longer just learning to ride. You're passing down a piece of the freedom that once terrified you. Because riding isn't just a skill, it's a legacy. Every time you help someone else begin, the road grows longer, and the community stronger. The day you teach someone to ride isn't about control or speed. It's about connection and realizing how far you've come from that quiet street where it all began. Every milestone on this list comes with a lesson. You'll fall, you'll fail, you'll doubt yourself. But each time you rise, you'll get a little closer to mastery. From trembling on your first start to teaching the next generation of riders, this journey is more than just skill. It's becoming. So, which milestone surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. Hit like if this reminded you of your own journey. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the road. Because remember, every pro was once a beginner who refused to give up the throttle.